Hidely-ho Drinkerinos, it's another episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast with me, Steve Kuntz. On today's episode, we hike up the trail to Spring Creek Brewing Company up there in gorgeous Eagle, Idaho. It's up in the Avamore neighborhood up there in the hills. So we go up there, we talk to Jeff all about his brewery and about his beers, and we find maybe it's a little hidden gem up there you might not know about. So we're going to tell you all about that. Plus, we have lots going on in the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar, and we are going to review some of his beers, some of Jeff's beers from Spring Creek in Friday Night Pints. So lots going on today on the Idaho Booze Podcast. It's time for the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week, and this week's cocktail is a whiskey ginger cocktail. This is a beautiful cocktail made even better with the addition of Warren Reserve ginger root bitters, Warren Reserve ginger root bitters, and also we're going to be using the Warren Reserve burnt sugar syrup. So a lot of good stuff in this one, and you can get all this stuff at warrenreserve.com. Use my promo code IdahoBooze25 and get 15% off when you spend $40 or more. On to the cocktail. This one's an easy one. We're going to get a highball glass. We're going to fill that thing up with ice. We're going to do 2.5 ounces of whiskey, so go ahead and measure that out. Pour that right in. 3 dashes of Warren Reserve ginger root cocktail bitters, and we're going to do about half an ounce of burnt sugar syrup. Warren Reserve burnt sugar syrup. It's going to add a lot of body to this drink, a lot of complexity. I think you're really going to love it. So we're going to throw all that in there. Give it a quick stir. Give all that a stir there in the glass. So that'll be nice. And then you're going to top it off with either ginger ale or ginger beer, whichever you prefer. I go either way. I think for this one, maybe ginger ale might be better. Just a little bit more sweetness. Ginger beer, also very nice. But, whatever you have on hand. Go ahead and top that thing off and give it another couple stirs. And then go ahead and garnish that thing with a lemon wedge or an orange peel, whichever you prefer. And there you have it. It is the whiskey ginger cocktail from Warren Reserve Cocktail Company, using those beautiful Warren Reserve ginger root bitters and that wonderful burnt sugar syrup from Warren Reserve. You can get all this stuff at warrenreserve.com. Use my promo code IdahoBooze25. Get 15% off when you spend $40 or more at Warren Reserve and warrenreserve.com. Ready to amp up your summer cocktail program? Just add a dash of Warren Reserve ginger root bitters to your favorite cocktail and let the magic of pure ginger root transform your boring drink into an amazing summer refresher. Warren Reserve ginger root bitters are made with fresh ginger root, so the flavor you're getting is pure ginger. Use these bitters to add tons of flavor to any mule, Moscow, or otherwise, or add them to a margarita for a little spice. Get your ginger root bitters or any delicious Warren Reserve bitters or syrups at warrenreserve.com. Use my promo code IdahoBooze25 at checkout. Save 15% on your next purchase. Add a blast of flavor to your summer cocktails with Warren Reserve ginger root bitters. So here we are at Spring Creek. So here we are at Spring Creek Brewing Company. It is hard to say. It's sneaky hard to say. It shouldn't be hard to say. Spring Creek. That's a pretty easy thing to say. But then you add the brewing company to it, and it really does elongate it a little bit. And we're here with Jeff or Jeffrey Badigian.
Badigian is correct.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was good.
That's from me living in Southern California. I've hung out with some Armenians in my time.
I love it.
When we're here at your beautiful brewery and pub in, I don't even know what city you're in. What city is this?
So it really was an unincorporated area of Ada County when we started, and since, which was just last July, I think, that they annexed into Eagle, so now officially an Eagle business.
So we're here in beautiful Eagle.
Yeah.
I love being in Eagle. This is great for me.
It's really pretty up here, I'll tell you. I mean, I know they're doing a lot of construction down in town, and it's pretty hectic, and there's a lot of traffic, and people are not taking, the old State Street as much. So
yeah, we're up here. We're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from downtown Eagle. It's not very far at all. And the construction, there's a little bit down there, but it's not too bad. And so you guys came up here to Avamore. You started building this place, I think, right as the neighborhood, or right after the neighborhood was going in, something like that.
Well, so we planned for quite a while. So the planning was over about 5 years, from 2016 until actually about 2020. So it was almost 5 years, and then broke ground in 2019. Sorry, my bad. They put down the foundation in 2018, and then 2019. They started the build, got it all done by 2020, and we're supposed to open in March of 2020. And
guess what?
Clearly, that did not happen.
There was a little pandemic.
Yeah, that
so
was
we took some time off for the pandemic.
For sure.
And then when did you open then? 2021?
No. So obviously we paused. Everybody had to, and we were waiting to see what was going to happen. A lot of things changed, obviously. They closed a lot of restaurants during that time. And so basically, there was a silver lining for us. We had to open because we didn't have operating capital. We couldn't pay our rent and things like that. Electricity, just to keep the lease going and all that stuff through this thing and try to figure it out. So basically ran out of capital to keep just paying bills, and had to open it on August 4th of 2020. So we almost made it to 21 before we opened. And so it was crazy. It was a shit show, man. Like we, first time in the industry, trying to get this thing started up, and we had some really good people that helped us a lot, and we made it through that tough piece of getting open. But the silver lining was this: we were in an unincorporated portion of Ada County. So during the pandemic, they asked city governments to enforce the rules, right? So, and the cities did,
You're talking about the 6 feet spacing and all that crap.
The social distancing,
right,
the way that he had to
masks,
eat
all that
food,
bullshit.
Separated, right? So all that stuff, and essentially, the city police, were the enforcers of that.
Yeah.
The sheriff in the county, they don't have the manpower to do it.
It's a long way to get up here.
Well, sure, and I don't think that it was in an open county that it was a super big deal. I think that even the people who lived in Boise County and things like that were allowed to, at their own discretion, make their rules and try to make things work. I'm sure no one wanted anyone else to get sick.
Right.
So, anyways, so the good news was that people could come up here and they could wear a mask or not. And we put a sign up on the window that said, "You're absolutely welcome to come in and wear a mask if you'd like, but you don't have to if you don't feel like you want to or should."
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And people started finding out that we had a restaurant that was open, and we crushed for a while.
Yeah.
We had a lot of business because we're pretty much the only place open, and that was good, and that kept us open. And the neighborhood, Avamore, has helped a lot. I mean, without the neighborhood, this business wouldn't have made it.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much, I think that's why, isn't that one of the reasons why you guys chose this location, was because you had a built-in neighborhood?
Well, it's a
people?
collaborative effort with a developer, and they own the building, I own the business, and so that's how it was put together.
Okay.
The neighborhood is kind of a captive audience, but at the same time, they were never... They aren't enough to support the business solely,
okay.
I mean, and that was kind of the situation we were in during the pandemic, and then even the year and a half after that. So, like I said, we wouldn't be here without them.
Nice.
No doubt. Whether they supported the business fully or even partially, they totally rocked it for us.
Well, it seems like to me that you being up here in Avamore, which is, I don't know, what is it? 5 miles from downtown Eagle, something like that. 6 miles.
3 minutes from Shadow Valley Golf Course.
3 minutes from Shadow Valley.
Yeah.
So it's up in the mountains a little bit, but it's not super far away, and it's a very picturesque location up here. It's really nice. The trees are nice, and you guys have done a really nice job with this place.
Thank you.
And so I think like when I heard that you guys were going to open this. Here specifically, I thought it was a really brilliant move because I think it's the only restaurant here, right?
It is right now. We have a coffee shop across the street and another, I think, a little more high end restaurant that they're that I think they're working on across the street.
Oh, they're going to put a restaurant over there.
Yeah, Gal is working on that right now.
Cool. So, I mean, you're certainly the only brewery up here, and it's nice that the very first restaurant that came into this neighborhood was a local brewery, right?
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Because oftentimes what you see neighborhoods like this pop up, and then like they're just kind of boring, dumb neighborhoods, and then a brewery moves in later and then kind of turns it around. This one is already kickstarted off with a brewery, so you're already up and running.
Steve, a lot of people, there's a lot of people, a handful of people who moved here because the brewery's here. And so,
that's nice.
You know, I'm sure they see it as some sort of an amenity to their neighborhood.
Totally.
And also, I believe that this model has probably existed for hundreds of years, right?
Yeah.
Like in Europe, you have the corner pub. Everybody goes there. You have generations of families that go. I mean, it's literally the same building that's been there for 200 years, you know?
Right.
And so it's a cool thing. People are comfortable with it. They don't have to wander far from their homes. It makes the local craft beer industry less competitive because you own your territory. I mean, if you're not doing a bunch of distribution and some giant, brewery, then I think that's good. Not to mention that the whole craft brewery and the inclusive kind of piece is also really cool.
Yeah, for sure. And you being here and sort of offering that service to the people that live up here, and this is I should say, an expanding community, right?
It is.
Like
they're building houses.
They're building houses. So and I guess it's probably been, what I really want to get to is one of the things I like the most about when I worked at a brewery or when I've worked at a couple different breweries are the regulars. So you guys must get like the best regulars here, right?
You must have read my mind because honestly, I was going to say that the folks from the neighborhood, we have people who, come in once a day, have a drink, we'll talk for a little while, and, they become my friends. And that is really one of the rewarding things about owning a brewery, which I never knew would be as rewarding as it feels. But it's super nice to see people and talk to them, ask them about their families, or meet new people and ask them where they're from. It's cool, and I think it's the thing that brings folks in when they're all sitting in here having a beer and some food and, just enjoying themselves. That is a pretty cool thing to see.
For sure. That was always one of my favorite things. And even now when I run into old regulars from the brewery that I worked at, it's fun to see them and fun to chat them up and see how they're doing. And so you guys, not only do you offer a nice, a pretty good, I don't know how many tabs you have there. 12 tabs?
We have 12 handles, and I think we got 3 down, but we're putting 1 on tomorrow.
Okay, so you got 9 on. You'll have 10 on, whatever. That's a pretty good number. So you got a bunch of beers on. You have a really good menu. Looks like you have a pretty stout mug club going there.
So that's not a mug club, actually. Oh. That is a founder wall, right?
Okay.
So we opened the business on a SCORE offering. It's called a small corporate offering registration through the state of Idaho. And I think that Boise Brewing and maybe Edge did something similar.
Yeah, Edge's was a little bit more tight, but Boise Brewing did that for sure.
Yeah. And so similar to that, or the same thing. And so we took investment money or capital from these folks who live in Idaho. Mm-hmm. And when they invested in the business, they got one of these leather koozies that's hanging on the wall.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's a
koozie.
Super
popular. Yeah, it holds a pint glass.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have our investors come in, and they would grab their koozie, and they love them.
And they get to lord around and make sure everyone's having a good time with their little koozie. I love that. Man, I feel like I missed out on that. Next time next time you guys open a place up, I'll get on the koozie board. And now
you can still get a koozie.
Oh,
we still have our investment opportunity open.
So let me get my checkbook.
Yeah, if you would like to get a koozie, just let me know.
So here in the pub, it's one of the things that I noticed right when I came in, being a brewery guy, was just how I think efficient your brew system is. At least not efficient maybe in the way that you're thinking, but for me, I'm thinking about how it fits in the space. I think it fits. It's almost like organic the way it kind of fits in to the wall back there. Talk to me about building that out and how that came to be. And it looks like you guys went and got some pretty good steel there too from Portland. Was Portland Metal Works?
Yeah, Portland Kettleworks.
Kettleworks.
Yeah, they built the system, and so the space. It when they designed the building, we knew that we wanted to have the brew house in the dining room. And so they kind of laid out the floor plan, and I decided where I kind of wanted to put things. And basically, it was for visual aesthetics. Mm-hmm. I thought, man, it'd be cool to see all these things. And it is cool. It is cool. I mean, it does look cool.
It looks awesome.
And so some of the measurements are a little off here and there. And so, like, there's things. So it's interesting to work in a little brew house, because I go and see other places where, they're bigger and sort of warehousey.
Yeah.
And, water all over the floor and stuff. My operation's a little tighter. I got to keep it clean. I try to put the hoses always into the drain. Of course, we spill sometimes, but there is some different, I think, challenges working in a tight workspace like this.
Sure.
But I think that it does look good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it's one of those things that after you get it all put in and everything's squared away, you go, oh man, I could have done this or that. Like literally, if I separated out a couple of my tanks by a few inches, it'd be way easier to connect the hose to it. It's just.
Well, talk to me about your system. What kind of system are we working with back here?
So we have a 7-barrel Portland Kettleworks system. It is brinkless. I have 15-barrel fermenters, 3 15-barrel fermenters, and 2 15-barrel bright tanks.
Cool. So you're double batching?
I can double batch, and I can run through them pretty good. Keep things keg and keep brewing beer at the same time. So basically, this system only runs my restaurant right now.
Yeah, you don't do a whole lot of distributing, right?
No, I have kegs in a couple places right now. I think at Heritage and Good Apple Tap House.
Okay, cool. Well, those are good places to have kegs. Totally. Hey, if you're going to have kegs someplace, Heritage and Good Apple Tap House are 2 great places to have kegs.
I want to put them where people go, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And tons of people go to those places.
They sure do.
These people that sit over here on this side of the bar or this side of the table go to those places.
I know that.
So I'll be on the lookout. So you've also incorporated, I really love, and the other thing I noticed when I came here the first time was I really love how you incorporated sort of the brewery into the restaurant in other ways. So you have the bags of grain up, in 2 different spots. You have sort of it looks like the auger room is smartly separate from the dining room.
It is.
Because I'm sure it kicks up a bunch of dust and other stuff, right?
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Yeah. Well, it's not what you want in people's food. So it does look cool. I think it looks neat, though, that the auger comes across the ceiling and how the ceiling kind of works into that. Who did you go to build this place? You said the builders were involved. Did they build the building, or
the developer?
Who helped you with that? Because it is a really cool building. It's an awesome building.
Oh man, it was designed to be a brewery.
Yeah.
And well, not necessarily a brewery, but it was designed to be a restaurant when we put the brewing equipment in. So it. I'm sorry, I forgot your question.
What's that?
I forgot your question.
Who built the building?
So the building
how was it built?
The building was built by a company called Silver Lining
Playbook
Construction, something like that. Yeah, I think the guy's name was Eric. It was Eric.
Okay.
And so he's the one that built the building, but the developer had it engineered and blueprinted. They had somebody.
The architect, yeah.
The architect. There you go. I don't know.
That's all right. I got you.
Yeah. So the architect, they made the plans, they put it all together, and then Silver Linings built it, and so basically that's how it worked. We just kind of all sat in meetings together and talked about what we wanted and what we needed. And of course, this is me. I was a home brewer, no experience in the restaurant industry at all, and so it's been a huge learning experience.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it always is anytime you start your own business, let alone a business like this where it just requires a lot of different skill sets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and let's talk about your kind of beginnings. How did you start out in beer? When did you start homebrewing, and how long have you wanted to open a brewery?
So, I started out on homebrewing about like almost 12 years ago, I think now.
Okay.
And so, a guy that I worked with in the pharmacy at St. Luke's, he asked me if I wanted to go to his house and brew some beer one day. And so we did. We went to his house, and he brewed up this extract brew, and he showed me, here's my kettle, here's what you do. And he had some crazy techniques, like, to cool his beer off after flame out, he'd just dump a whole bucket of ice into it.
Oh my God.
And
so his
like,
gravities his gravities weren't quite what he wanted, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean,
good Lord.
He's pouring in there, but anyways, that was one funny thing. And but he made decent beer and
little watered down.
Yeah, extracts though. So anyways, I did that. I did extract for, I don't know, a relatively short period of time, and then I moved on to all grain. And I brewed with this guy who lived across the street from me, and he set up a little kind of brewing system in his garage, which was pretty cool. And then we just talked about opening a tap room and what we could do and stuff. And so that became the plan, and then his little girl got sick, and so he had to break away. And so I started the business with another friend of mine. And then from there, it was, gosh, I think we were pretty close to like 8 years of brewing at that point. And opened the place up, had enough knowledge to work the system, had gone out and taken some classes at Portland Kettle Works.
Nice.
Yeah, they offered that.
They hooked you up, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. I needed it.
Yeah.
So I went out there, I took notes, I learned everything I could, and that's basically been the journey for that, like, I'm not really good at working in the kitchen. It's not my thing. I mean, I can do it. But yeah, this place requires me to wear a lot of hats for sure.
Sure. And then you talk about the kitchen, like who came up with the menu? Did you have someone come in? Do you have a chef that you had come in? Or
we initially did have a chef, and he helped us build the menu, and we've changed a few things since the first guy came in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he helped us build the menu. This guy invented a pizza called the Chain Breaker Pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's great. It's got like herb oil on it, and arugula, and maz, habaneros, and the topper is green apple slices, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't think it would taste good, but it works really well. It's insanely delicious.
So those chefs know what they're doing sometimes, don't they?
And they top it with like this red chili pepper flake honey.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've had that pizza before. It has a honey drizzle on top or something. Delicious. That does sound delicious. And you guys, not only do you have pizza, but you have like bar food and you have appetizers. And then my favorite thing that you have here is this I think it's when you get like a flight. It's a big like tower thing, right?
Yeah. I found those flight towers, and I saw them. Actually, they were I think they were like for brandy or something. Maybe it was wine. That's what it was.
Something.
They were wine tasters.
Okay.
And so anyways, I was like, those look really cool. And I found those little glasses that fit in there. And it's been super popular. And yeah, they look fancy sitting on the table.
They do look fancy,
and they
sitting
don't
on the
take up
table.
a ton of room.
No, they don't, but they're neat. It's like a thing that you remember when you come here. Like I went and got a flight at Spring Creek Brewing Company, and I got this weird tower thing.
Yeah, and I think it's, oh my gosh, I should know my specials, but I think today is like our flight special, and you basically get a little more than a pint for $6, which is cheaper than buying a pint of beer. So
Seriously, so why don't we take a little break and why don't we get one of those flights out here
Sure.
and start talking suds? What do you think?
yeah, I'm cool.
All right. Well, Jeff, I'm going to do it again. Badigian.
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 Got it.
Jeff Badigian is my guest today from Spring Creek Brewing Company up here in Avamore. And we're going to be right back to talk beers after this.
Cool.
Heading out to the lake is great, and Treasure Valley Chevron is here to make that lake trip even better with a crazy selection of snacks, drinks, and stuff for your long weekend away. Need a lift for the road with the Treasure Valley's largest assortment of energy drinks, energy shots, coffee, candy, sodas, and more. You can fuel yourself up for the long trip along with your car. Looking for something more substantial? TVC has a huge assortment of snacks, chips, and more to munch on during your trek. Hit up Treasure Valley Chevron at I-84 and Gowan Road or Highway 55 at Beacon Light and see why TVC is your best stop for any trip. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz here with Jeffrey Badigian.
Badigian.
I saw how it was spelled.
Like a long
so it's
E.
getting in my head because there's an I in there, right? But it's an E.
Right. And
Badigian.
most people say either Badigian or Badigian.
Yeah, I got it right the
It's
first
different.
time.
Yeah,
and
it's Badigian. Right?
Badigian.
Yeah, there you
Jeffrey
go.
Badigian is
great.
here from Spring Creek Brewing Company. We're here in Avamore, gorgeous Eagle, Idaho, just showing off today. It's a beautiful day today. Hopefully later on this patio gets nice and packed.
Oh, I hope so. We
what we're
can
hoping.
open this roller door behind you if you'd like.
Let's not.
All right.
Because that will be noisy.
It might.
So we have we talked about sort of how the brewery came to be. We talked about how the building got built. We talked about your system, talked about you, and now we're getting to what everybody really wants to hear about, the beers.
All right.
And you were nice enough to go and grab one of these beautiful towers. This is the tower of which we were speaking before.
They're actually pretty cool.
It's really cool. It's really fucking cool. So we're looking at the tower right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beers poured, and we're going to start with. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up.
You go for
I'm
it.
going to slam it, and then you're going to tell me what exactly I'm drinking.
Okay.
So the first one we're starting with. This is the Mexican lager.
Yep, that's the
Mexican style.
It's
lager.
called Brew Quixote. Yeah, so Mexican style lager, extra light. It's like 4.2 ABV. A lot of people are drinking it with a lime, and I'm not a huge fan of that.
I like
but
it
can
fine
drink
without the
either way.
fruit.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
So it's super clean.
Yeah.
It's really light and refreshing. It's got just enough of that malty balance to it, so it's not sweet or anything. It just has a nice malty balance. Do you put lime into the beer as well?
No.
Or it's just a Mexican style
That's just
lager?
a straight Mexican style Vienna lager.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. And look at the color on that too. It's gorgeous. For those of you not watching on YouTube, it is a beautiful golden, pale yellow, beautiful beer with a nice white head.
Maybe
Sticks
a little
nicely.
straw kind of.
Yeah,
color.
straw color.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? You can have that. Let's do straw color. But to me, just golden yellow, beautiful, and nice and
Yeah,
see-through.
it's got
I love it.
Good clarity, yeah. Came out really well. I like it. A lot of people are drinking it, so I'm gonna have to make more real soon.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it actually the whole time we've been talking. I've been having this one, and this is it's nice and clean. And as per usual, what we like to do, Jeff, you may not know, but after the interview, I do a portion of the show. It's called Friday Night Pints. It's our segment where I review beers. So I will be reviewing all of these in Friday Night Pints. Cool. Not right here in front of you.
That's cool.
I'm going to do it behind your back.
I am anxious to hear what you have to say.
I'll tell you this. That's a fucking winner right
Thanks,
there.
bro.
All right, next we're moving on to the amber. Tell us about this guy.
So this is the well-aligned amber. I basically made this beer because it's like a 5.2 ABV, and I basically made it because a lot of people come in and they want an amber, and I've noticed that a lot of ambers that are on the market are a little more malty than this, but I dried it out so that so it's not so sweet. It doesn't have as much residual sweetness.
So this one is another beauty, ruby red, gorgeous color, nice off-white head, sticks nicely to the glass. just a really beautiful looking beer. And for me, I was going to say, when you said the reason why we make this, I was going to interrupt, which a lot of the people that listen and comment don't like that I do, but I do sometimes because I have funny stuff to say sometimes. And I was going to say, because you like to sell beer. That's why you made an amber.
And it's not bad. It finishes
it's good.
It finishes pretty clean, and it's got a neutral flavor.
You can taste a little bit of the chocolate malt in there. But it's overall comes across as pretty clean, with just that little bit of that chocolate malt in there, and then the I imagine it's like the hoodie hops, something like that, Cascade hops that kind of bring it all back and balance it out.
So I actually use Centennial, and
that was close.
Yeah, and I bittered with Simcoe.
Oh wow, bold
To
bold
keep it
choice.
smooth.
Yeah, you get the pine on there. You definitely get a little bit of pine on there, and then in the flavor, all it really does is bitter it out so that it finishes nice and clean.
Yeah, I also
it's a nice
get
beer.
like a little touch of like burnt toffee almost in the nose.
For sure.
In the nose.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, from some of those roasted malts.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you make an amber, typically use just a touch of chocolate malt, so it's
Right.
a little bit in there.
Well,
but
and that
nice.
stained it a little bit too, so it had. I was thinking maybe, and I did use chocolate malt. I was thinking maybe I should have used a little bit of, like roasted barley, to give it more of a reddish color.
That's gonna give it a little bit more color, but you're also gonna get maybe a little bit of that.
Well, I'm just talking about staining. I'm not, not even 1% of
Not
the crisp
mashing.
probably. Yeah, but I like the color. And I like how it came out.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be a little more garnet colored though. Yeah.
Interesting. To me, it's ruby red.
Thanks.
It's a gorgeous looking beer, and to me, it tastes great. I mean, I'm not a big amber guy. I don't drink a lot of ambers, but when I do, I know ones that I don't like, and that is one that I like. That is not one that I don't like. I've definitely, whenever I drink an amber that I don't like, it's pretty. I don't have a very good poker face. So you would be able to tell, like if I didn't like that amber, you would be able to tell. And I did like that amber.
Would you lie to me, Steve?
I would on the show. Because we're all just trying to make everyone look good here.
Thank you. Again, I appreciate that.
So the next beer that we have here is, I imagine, one of the more popular ones.
That's
this
our
is an
Ribbons of
IPA.
Euphoria IPA. It's our flagship IPA. I've been brewing this beer since pretty much I started brewing. I just developed the recipe over time. Used a lot of hops that I liked, and just ended up nailing it. And I love this beer. I drink it all the time.
This is another Centennial, Simcoe, maybe Mosaic, something like that in there.
So, Centennial, Simcoe, CTZ for its bitter, Citra in
Citra.
the Whirlpool, along with some Centennial, Willamette in the, I do like Centennial and Willamette in the flavor hop. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So-
It turns out good.
The nice thing is, and I think a lot of the kids forget about this, but Centennial was our original grapefruit bomb hop. So before we had Mosaic and before we had some of these other ones that are now kind of the grapefruity hops, we had Centennial. And now Centennial is basically just used for like bittering and for maybe some flavor in ambers and stuff like that. But this is a really nice expression of Centennial. I think I do get the nice thing about your use of Citra in here, and it must not be that big of a part of it because I'm not getting any of the off flavors that I get with Citra sometimes. But this one has a really nice touch of Citra that amplifies the grapefruit. The grapefruit's in there. It's got a little bit of pine on the nose. But mostly it's just citrus, grapefruit. I get grapefruit rind, and I get a little bit of earthiness too in the flavor. It's a nice beer. I think it also is another good looker. This one a little bit more golden. I would say hay colored.
Yeah, kind of tinging toward like orange.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And the head nice and sticky. Great job on your mash.
Thank you.
And this is a tasty little beer. Tell
Thank
you
you.
what.
Yeah.
What's the ABV? What does this one ring in at?
That one's 6.7 today. I try to hit 7 on it or close.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So we had a thing when I was at Edge. Carrie Caldwell came up with this, and she has a different last name now, and I'm blanking on it. Bloxham. Carrie Bloxham.
Okay.
Her thing was, I want a 7% IPA because I want people to have 2 and then leave. so they can drive home safely.
She suggests that to her.
That was
favorite
it.
customer.
Wasn't like she wasn't being mean about it. She was just like, you can have 2 and then you can get home safely.
True that.
I guess is the way that she wanted.
Hey,
For me, I like a 9% double IPA. That's just me.
Well,
this is great.
That's great because that's the next thing I have coming on. Is a 9% double IPA.
Oh, I wish it was on right now.
I know. It'll be on tomorrow.
Oh, well, maybe we could get a sneak preview off the Bright Tank.
It's possible.
So this is a stout. Go ahead and tell me about this guy.
So it is a London dry stout. Again, not crazy about super sweet beers. And I just feel like it's more drinkable. And people come in and want a stout and expect it to be super duper heavy, but they taste this and they're digging it. It's not a high ABV stout either. It's a 5.3.
5.3. And what makes it a London dry stout?
The yeast.
Okay.
Yeah. So I used I think it's Imperial 07 that it just dried it out really well. It doesn't have any sort of like esters, the sweet esters, and I didn't use any crystal malt.
Oh, nice. So what I think of, and this one also another looker, little bit. There is a little. I'm getting a little light through it, but it's got a beautiful dark kind of black color, sticky head. Good bubbles,
and
just
the head turned out nice and tight and tan.
Yep, off white definitely. Yeah. I would say towards brown, towards tan, and so for me, anytime someone says London dry stout, the first beer I think of is Young's, right? Young's London Stout, and that is a chocolate bomb. And this one is not a chocolate bomb. It does have some chocolate in there. Like you said, it is dry. It has a nice caramel note to it. I get some toffee in there. I get not a lot of coffee or anything like that. So I'm thinking that the roasted malt bill is pretty low.
I'm like
in this
dark
one.
chocolate at the very end.
Dark bitter chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it turned out well.
Yeah, it's good beer.
I really like that beer, and it really, honestly, has been selling faster than any other stout that we've ever had on tap. So,
have you guys ever had an oatmeal? Ever done an oatmeal stout?
We did do an oatmeal stout, and here's the interesting thing. So we did an oatmeal stout. My bad. Oh, it was a milk stout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've ever had an oatmeal stout on.
So this is great because I like oatmeal. I'm an oatmeal stout guy. Like if you have an oatmeal stout on, I'm probably going to get that even over an IPA. I'm a hop guy too, but I will get an oatmeal stout every time. But this one, next time I'm back here, I will probably get that because I do like dark beers and I like them when they're nice and light.
Right now?
No, I'm good right now. I gotta take down this whole thing. Right. And I also have a little bit of Mexican lager left over here. So I'm okay right now, but maybe for the third part of the interview, we'll go ahead and get that going. So then last but not least, we have the porter. Go ahead and tell us about this guy.
So the porter is our flagship porter. It's called Lori's Porter. It's named after my wife.
Aw.
And I brewed this beer probably about 10 times before my wife gave it
You can use my name.
Her check of approval, right? And so, I got to name it after her. It's a brown porter.
Yep.
It isn't high ABV again. I think that this one is running about 5.7. So, so it's not something that is super duper strong.
Yep.
It doesn't have a massive chocolate profile. It's not really dark. It's mild. It's won 2 awards at the NABA.
Awesome.
It's got a bronze and a silver.
Real quick, what's more fun than winning an award in NABA? Because that whole thing is so fun. It's
a cool festival, and it's coming up.
It is coming up
next month.
But for people that aren't brewers that don't know, when you're there at the award ceremony, basically there's a trough of beer, right? And it's all, and the first thing you go for when you go up there, you know if your beer won a medal or not because it'll be in like a special area or whatever, right? But the first thing I do when I'm there is I go and I pick up all the beers that aren't mine. I go and I grab like two break sides.
You didn't mention that. You can just go up and grab whatever
you just grab whatever you want. Yeah. And then you take them back to your table and then you share with everybody.
Exactly.
So that's what I do. I go and grab whatever break sides are up there. I go grab,
They're so good.
anyone that's from around that we don't really get that much of here, I go and grab those. But so the porter's nice. It is a brown porter. It does have that kind of toffee flavor to it. It's not roasty. So the difference between maybe an American porter and a brown porter is an American porter is going to be more roasty, more bitter. This one does not have any bitterness whatsoever. It's got a little bit of hop character there at the end. I imagine it's probably Willamettes or Centennials or something like that.
Yep. I love.
Yeah, it's a nice porter.
My two faves, if I have to pick hops, are Centennial and Willamette.
That's not. Hey, I mean, welcome to 1995. It was a great time.
I'm just saying.
Who didn't love 1995?
I got a hazy over if you want to try
Let's try it. Yeah, let's get it.
Let me snag it.
All right, he's gonna walk over there.
It has more of the different.
For people not watching,
90 hop.
For people not watching, on YouTube, he's walking over to the bar right now to grab another beer. Now, I will say this. If you guys haven't been up here yet to Spring Creek and tried their beers, I mean, everything's clean. Everything is refreshing. The IPA is an IPA. The porter's a porter. I think you're kind of missing out. This might be like a little hidden gem here up in Avamore because I think these beers that I've had today, they're pretty killer. Now we got the hazy.
There you are.
Hazy IPAs are very hot right now. Everybody loves them.
Seems so.
And this one is super hazy. Look at that.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this guy.
Well, I think that, so I used some caramel malt in there, and I think that maybe the percentage was a little bit high because it's a little browner than I expected it to be.
It's giving orange, dark orange.
It's dark orange, yeah. And so I feel like that maybe that the caramel malt lent a little more darkness to it, making it look hazier because it's really not that bad. It's not that hazy. I mean,
it's pretty hazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see through that guy. I mean, and so it's nice. It is a little bit darker. It's got a nice head. It's got a nice head to it again. Great job on the mash, and it's got like I'm gonna go peach. I'm gonna go grapefruit on the nose, and maybe like some like just a little bit of like blueberry or something like that on there.
It's different, and I use a hop called Vista, and it
I haven't heard of that one.
Apparently, a cousin of all the C hops.
Oh wow! Okay,
so
keeping it in the family.
I like it that way, and so it turned out pretty good. People are enjoying that one. I think that they just changed that keg, which may have made it a little bit hazier than.
You know what? We both know they just changed the keg.
Yeah, you're
because
right.
you just told you were. I
know.
I don't like to use the word
but everybody
berating.
else on the podcast has no idea.
But there was a guy back there who was just kind of minding his own business, and you were like, "Hey, the keg's empty." And he's like, okay, well, what do you want me to do about it?
He works here, man.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought he looked like he was having a pizza.
Customer.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good. It's good that he works here.
A lot of volunteers.
Because of the way but no. So this is, I think it's a really nice hazy. It's got a lot of flavor, and I think, I think the crystal malt looks good. I don't know that it's doing anything for the flavor, but it does look good. What do you think?
Yeah. I think that it has. So the Vista hop is something I've never used, and it really was the main hop.
It pops,
it has a nice kind of grapefruitish mango flavor to me.
Okay, mango.
The aroma is kind of like you said. So to me, it has a little bit of a citrus note.
I get a lot of orange peel in there too. Yeah,
like orange rind almost, right?
Peel, yeah,
or
definitely.
Grapefruit rind, and I think that just comes from the whole C hop thing. Plus, I use the A38 yeast, which apparently does something to the hop terpenes and makes it a little more perceivable.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm not sure how all that science works, but that's just what I understand. But it actually came out really well.
Yeah, I think it's nice, and it doesn't have any heat to it. I'd say it's about 6.5%, 6.4%.
5.9.
Oh, 5. Oh, yeah. Not even 6. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's a nice, like, another refreshing beer. These are, I would say overall, Jeff, with the offerings you have out right now today, that at least that I got to try, you are very much prepared for patio season.
No, we are.
So
I'm ready for everybody to come in too.
Exactly. Tell everybody about the patio here, about what they can expect when they come to Spring Creek.
Yeah. So we have a west-facing patio, which is covered, and it sits just on the edge of Spring Creek. So that's what we're named after, Spring Valley Creek, which is just off the patio. And dog-friendly. We have a full-service restaurant, wood-fired pizza, sandwiches, salads, soup, pub food. We have appetizers, wings. Our wings are killer.
Wings are killer here. I've had the wings here. They are killer. What a pretzel? Was there a pretzel?
Yeah, we have pretzel.
I haven't even looked at the menu. I'm just remembering last time I was here.
Fries are pretty
I think
good.
we had the pickle fries last time I was here too. We came here. This is stupid. I don't know why I'm telling this story. We came here on my birthday, actually. Not the last
stupid.
one, but the one before that. We went to Anderson Reserve out in Sweet. And then on the way back, we were all kind of hungry because we had brunch. We didn't go there for dinner like we should have. We went there for brunch. And so we were all kind of hungry. It was me, my wife, and my two kids. I have 20. They were 22 and 18 at this point.
Yeah.
So kids. And so we stopped in and we got the tower of beer and we tried. I know for a fact we got the pickle spears because I always get fried pickles.
Yeah,
I love fried pickles. And I know that we got the pretzel. And I'm pretty sure we got a pizza too. So lots of great food here too,
yeah,
right?
the sour, that kettle sour was popular, man. We were back flavoring it with different fruit flavors and calling it pick your poison.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, every couple of weeks we'd just flavor another like barrel or half barrel or quarter barrel or whatever it was. And so, yeah, that was pretty popular. Might have to do that again.
Yeah, the fried pickles here are outstanding. The pizzas are all wood fired, and
I think our pizzas are like one of the best things we have here.
Yeah, for sure. And you were just telling me about this bingo thing you guys are doing. What is this all about?
Yeah. On Tuesday nights, I've been hosting music bingo. So
you can come and meet Jeff.
Yeah, sure. You're going to be excited.
He's just like he is on the podcast. Only he's going to have, like, I imagine, a DJ suit or something like that on.
No, but we do have an area over here, which is kind of like a stage.
I see the stage.
Has lights and stuff over there.
It does have lights.
Yeah.
That's a nice stage.
So
what are you talking about?
On Fridays and Saturday nights. So Saturday nights during the summer, we're having live music. We always have live music on Friday nights.
Okay.
But on Saturday night, we're going to have live music for the summer. And, we have the rotating artists come through. And it's a really fun time, man. And honestly, on Friday nights, if you want to come in, you may need to make a reservation.
Do you guys take reservations?
We do on Fridays and Saturdays.
That is wild.
The rest of the week, we really don't need to.
All right. Well, get your reservation in now. You can go to, I don't know, what's your website?
SpringCreekBrewing.com and look at our event tab, and it'll tell you who is going to be playing in the next couple of weeks or few weeks.
Make sure you get that resi. We're having a really nice day today. It's about 80 degrees outside. Right now, you have these garage doors that are going to swing open, and this thing is going to be open air and really nice and gorgeous. And there's going to be wood-fired pizzas and live music and the whole 9 yards, right?
And we have a whole house music system, too, so you can hear the music outside, too, when we get everything all hooked up.
Cool. And when it was on... for me, it was amazing because it was on 90s alternative rock, which is my favorite music, and everyone knows that. You're rocking a Foo Fighters shirt right now, so I'm pretty sure you're right there with me.
I am, and there are different genres too. So there's country.
Are there?
Well,
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm good.
But just to encourage other crowds and other people who are in the city, and honestly, we did 60s, 70s on Tuesday, and there was a ton of songs that were super popular and everybody knew. So, yeah.
There is other music besides
There is.
90s
See, I
alternative
told
rock.
you.
It's true. Just not for me. I mean, it's kind of all I listen to. But so just tell everybody how you get here and when you guys are open, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so best way to get here, I mean, you're going to have to drive on State Street to get here. So State and 55 and go north on 55 for about 10 minutes. Literally, it's a 10-minute drive. Once you hit Shadow Valley, like I said, you're 3 minutes to here. Take a right at the light at Avamore Drive, and I'm in the big brown barn on the left-hand side.
It's the one that's not the gas station.
That's right.
There's a gas station and there's a brewery. It's not the gas station. That's the one you want.
It's totally the one you want, and I don't think that you'll be disappointed when you make the turn.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me to your brewery, to
Thank you,
Spring
Steve.
Creek. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of work to do. I have a whole tower of power here that I got to work on before I get going on my 10-minute drive home, which is amazing. I'm really happy about that. And beautiful Eagle,
it's
Idaho.
not that far.
No, it's easy, and it's like 2 turns. Piece of cake,
Right?
No problems. You have a beautiful brewery. You have a beautiful pub. You're doing a great job up here, and we want to make sure people know that we are a Beer Buddies hub up here. So you get half off your first pint, something like that.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
what I
half
read
off
on
the
it.
first
Yeah,
one.
half off for
Yep.
first pint. So you can use your Beer Buddies card up here.
You bet you can.
And there's plenty of parking and awesome food, awesome drinks, awesome
you.
company.
Thank you. I wish more people knew that we're up here. Sometimes they come in here and say, "Hey, we didn't even know you were here until we turned in." So anything that we can do to get the word out and let people know that we're here is awesome. Thank you.
My dozens of listeners will be happy to spread the word and get up here for you.
Hey, listen.
I guarantee that.
I'll take a dozen.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
about what
great.
we're gonna get. So Jeff Badigian, Jeff Badigian, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for being on the show. We're gonna be right back with Friday Night Pints, where I'm going to review each and every one of these beers, and we'll be right back right after this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Ready to amp up your summer cocktail program? Just add a dash of Warren Reserve ginger root bitters to your favorite cocktail and let the magic of pure ginger root transform your boring drink into an amazing summer refresher. Warren Reserve ginger root bitters are made with fresh ginger root, so the flavor you're getting is pure ginger. Use these bitters to add tons of flavor to any mule, Moscow, or otherwise, or add them to a margarita for a little spice. Get your ginger root bitters or any delicious Warren Reserve bitters or syrups at warrenreserve.com. Use my promo code Idaho Booze 25 at checkout. Save 15% on your next purchase. Add a blast of flavor to your summer cocktails with Warren Reserve Ginger Root Bitters. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz, and it's time for Friday Night Pints. We are going to review some of those beers that we had up there at Spring Creek. And if you can, Jeff, he was a great guest, wasn't he? Awesome to have on the show. Really enjoyed meeting him. And if you can, make it up there. He's got some seriously good beers up there, and the food's not bad. The food actually pretty good. Not even actually, it's good. Good food, good times, awesome pub. Go check out Spring Creek if you get a chance. So we're going to start out with Brew Quixote. This is the Mexican style lager that I was sipping on pretty much the whole show. Now, this thing was really good. It didn't have any of that adjunct flavor you get from some of the Mexican style lagers. It was basically just like a nice, like Hellas style Mexican style lager. And you know what? It was great. It was refreshing. It had a little bit of malt flavor. It didn't have a lot of hop flavor, and it was only like 4.3%. So really easy drinker. Brew Quixote from Spring Creek. Give that one a try. Highly recommend, actually. Highly recommend. Then the Amber, which, let's see, what was the name of that Amber? Well Aligned Amber. Awesome name. The Amber was good. It was a little chocolatey for my taste. It had a little too much chocolate malt in there. But you know what? To each their own. If you like a good stout amber, you'll like this one. It's got a lot of flavor. It's got beautiful color. It's a gorgeous beer in the glass, and it's got it's got good flavor. It's just a little too much flavor for me for an amber. I like my ambers a little bit more on the crisp side. This one tended to be a little bit more on the heavy, kind of rounded out side with that chocolate malt in there, with that additional chocolate malt. So, the amber, pretty good. You know what? I'd go for probably the Mexican lager over the amber, but that's just me. I'm also not much of an amber guy, so that's a little bit on me. Next up, the IPA. This is their Ribbons of Euphoria IPA, the flagship West Coast style IPA. And you know what? This is a good, solid IPA to have as your flagship. This beer, if someone orders it, they're going to get an IPA and they're going to like what they get because it's a straight up West Coast style IPA made with the most West Coast style hops you could think of, with Willamette and Centennial, Citra, all that stuff in there. The grapefruit comes out really nicely. You don't get a lot of that off flavor from Citra that you get sometimes. None of that is there. It's all big citrus, big orange. I mean, there's a little bit of orange peel in there. There's some lemon. There's a lot of grapefruit, though. Really big grapefruit bomb on this one. So this reminded me of old school West Coast IPAs, which was really nice. So yeah, Ribbons of Euphoria IPA, that is a must-have. Go check that one out. And then the next one we had was the Stout. This thing was, let's see, where is it on here? The Inversion Lifter London Dry Stout. I really like this beer. You know me, I'm a sucker for these kind of dry stouts. I also like big heavy stouts too every so often, but these dry stouts are really nice. This one is really nicely flavored. The roast isn't too heavy. The chocolate malt in there and the dark chocolate malt and the other stuff he has going on there all meld together really nicely with a nice smattering of hops and not too much alcohol. It's only like 6%, 6.3%. So nice dry finish. Good flavor throughout, a really nice dry stout. I would highly recommend the stout. If you go over there to Spring Creek, check that one out. That's the Inversion Lifter Stout. And then we tried, let's see, last but not least, on the Tower of Power we had there was Lori's Porter. Lori's Porter, every time I've been there, I've had Lori's Porter, and it's always great. It's just a solid beer. It's got awesome flavor. It's a little bit dry. It doesn't have that kind of, like, it's not like an American style porter. It doesn't have that kind of cracky roastiness to it. It's more smooth, more evenly distributed, different from the stout. The stout is a little bit more full bodied. The stout has a little bit more roastiness to it. This porter, more light, more accessible, really nice, easy drinking porter. So Lori's Porter, a definite must have if you check out when you get up to Spring Creek. And then last but not least, again, I guess, the Veil of Spring Hazy IPA. It was nice. It was orange. It was maybe a little too much crystal malt in there for my taste, for my palate. I really like a nice, I like a heavy hazy. Don't get me wrong. I like them filled with that peach. But I like the hops. I just want to taste the hops. I don't really want to get into a whole malt conversation when it comes to hazy IPA. So when he said that he put in the crystal malt, I was like, okay, cool. And tried it. It tasted great. Fine beer. I would lay off the crystal malt next time, Jeff. That's just me. I'm just one man. That's just my opinion. But awesome beer. I really enjoyed. Overall, I enjoyed all the beers. I thought they were great. I think they're making awesome beers up there at Spring Creek. I've thought so for about, I'd say 2 years now. And I'm happy to be vindicated on that one. So anybody that wants to go up there and try them out, I highly recommend it. Up in Avamore, Spring Creek Brewing Company, Jeff Badigian. Thank you so much for having me up there. The hazy is nice, but I just lay off a little bit of that crystal malt. Just maybe go ahead and pull that back a little bit. Let the yeast do the work. You don't need to color it up with a bunch of malt. We'll be right back with the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar right after this. Patio season is here, and nothing brings down the vibe more than getting that bill at the end of happy hour when you're paying full price for pours. Don't be a sucker. Get a Boise Beer Buddies card. It means never having to pay full price with the summer patio season coming up. You need to save as much money as you can. Go to BoiseBeerBuddies.com, sign up for your Beer Buddies card, and save money at dozens of bars, restaurants, breweries, wineries, cideries, and more for just $20. What's that? You want to buddy up with a friend? Use my promo code BOOZEPOD at checkout and get one for your best buddy for free. That's a BOGO Beer Buddy. Be a buddy and get your Boise Beer Buddies card today. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. This week's Boise Beer Buddies community calendar brought to you by Boise Beer Buddies. Sign up for their newsletter or go get a card today at BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Be a buddy. Get your Boise Beer Buddies card today. Save lots of money all over the state of Idaho. We're going to start at Mother Earth. It looks like, my favorite and yours, the Big Mother, is coming back. It's Mother Earth's 15th anniversary. Congratulations, Dan and Baker, everybody over there at Mother Earth. Great job by all you guys. 15 years. That's a hell of a ride. And they're going to celebrate by putting out my favorite Mother Earth beer, Big Mother Triple IPA. This thing, oh my God, it's so good. The blueberry that comes out of that thing is amazing. Anyway, we'll have hopefully have that next week for Friday Night Pints. Anyway, there's going to be live music and food trucks. This is going to be Saturday, May 10th. So we're looking at tomorrow for that one. Celebrate 15 years at the Mother Earth Boise Tap Room or at the Nampa Tap Room. They'll have things going on. It sounds like at both of them. Then we got, let's see, Dusty Rose Reserve. Okay, this is where the Growler guys used to be over there on Overland. And this is in Boise or Meridian, one of the two, maybe in Meridian. I guess Meridian. The first annual, which I love, it's a great turn of a phrase. First annual auto show. This is something, Dusty Rose Reserve, I'm sure it's a great, you're really happy to have the auto show, but this is something that everybody does here in the Valley. We all do an auto show. It always works. There's nothing wrong with it. So Dusty Rose Reserve, you're doing the first annual auto show, all makes and motorcycles invited. That's going to be also tomorrow, May 10th from 2 to 8 p.m. Check that out. Just drive by Dusty Rose. I'm sure you'll see a bunch of awesome cars there in the parking lot. Let's see. Brown Beard is going to have the Talbot Brothers out. Oh, okay. This is something that our friend over Bryce talked about from Brown Beard. This is going to be on May 11th. So you're looking at Sunday at 6 p.m. Nice time for a Sunday show, 6 p.m. like that. Brown Beard Brewing Company and the Talbot Brothers. So that'll be a lot of fun. You can get tickets probably at Brown Beard's website, I imagine. So that's good stuff. Green Acres Food Truck, Saturday, May 17th. Save the date for the Idaho Wildlife Ale Fest. Oh, that'll be fun. So it's a beer fest, unlimited beer tasting, food, music, raffles, and prizes. And this is going to be at the food truck park there on Shoreline Drive. That should be a lot of fun. Idaho Wildlife, good people. They've been involved with craft beer here in the Treasure Valley for a long time. So I would assume that's going to be a lot of fun. So check that one out. And then it looks like St. Chappelle Winery is starting up their open air concert series for the summer. This is going to start this weekend at 11 a.m. on Saturday, I imagine. And there's going to be a Mother's Day concert as well. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all your moms out there. Way to go. So it looks like if you show your Boise Beer Buddies card at St. Chappelle for this, it's 2-for-1 wine tasting, and then Mother Earth will be on site pouring beer. So that should be a lot of fun. Check that out. And next week, American Craft Beer Week. So that snuck up on me, May 12th to May 18th. Something to check out there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different stuff going on. If anybody wants to send me what they're doing for Craft Beer Week, I will put up a post on my Substack. That's idahobooze.substack.com. This has been your Boise Beer Buddies community calendar. Lots going on. Make sure you make it out to something. Why don't you? Get out of the house. Go out. Go drink some beer. Go to the wildlife thing. It's going to be on May 17th, 3 to 8 p.m. Save the date. Do all that stuff. We're going to come right back, wrap things up on the Idaho Booze Podcast right after this. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz, and we are wrapping things up here on the show. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. IdahoBooze.substack.com, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Pods, pretty much everywhere you can get podcasts. We are there. So check us out. Share it with a friend, subscribe, and make sure you're using the promo codes. We got Idaho Booze 25 at warrenreserve.com. Save you a bunch of money on syrups and bitters. Make yourself that whiskey ginger cocktail that we had in this week's cocktail of the week from Warren Reserve. So warrenreserve.com, use my promo code Idaho Booze 25. Save some money on those bitters and syrups. You know you want to buy them. They're really good. They're locally made. They're awesome people. And we're actually going to have them on, I think, week after next. So we're going to get them on the show to talk more about cocktails here. And we haven't had a cocktail show in a while. So it's about time we had a cocktail show. So we're going to have them on next week. I think we're going to have on Meredith Smith from Sawtooth and St. Chappelle Winery. Wine Company. I don't know why I want to say wine company. I think it's because I just think that, but winery is what it is. And it's the largest one in the state. So she's going to be on to talk all about that next week. And we'll have some more awesome flights of wine for Friday night flights. And that'll be a lot of fun. So this week, let's see what else. Oh, thanks to our friends, Boise Beer Buddies. Booze Pod is the promo code there. Get 2 for 1 Boise Beer Buddies cards. That's a BOGO, people. And we're heading right into patio season. If you don't have that Boise Beer Buddies card now, you better get it, because you are going to be missing out on lots of half offs and $1 offs and 25% offs. Lots of good stuff with the Boise Beer Buddies card. Be a buddy. Go get it and save some money on it. Booze Pod 25. Save some money on that. Treasure Valley Chevron, thanks a lot to you guys for your continued support. And, just want to thank my mom, Shannon. Thank you so much. You're a great mom. My wife, Valerie, an awesome mom, amazing mom. 2 amazing moms, and my mother-in-law, Jan. Oh my gosh, 3 amazing moms right here in my inner circle. What more could a man want? So everybody get out there this Mother's Day. Give it your best. This is like I always say to my family, this is a nice warm up, because Father's Day right around the corner. You don't want to screw that one up. Father's Day, that's for all the marbles. Mother's Day, nice. Go get your brunch. Have a nice time. But Father's Day, that's really where we need to turn it on. So good to see all the mothers. Good to, what am I saying? God, I'm losing my mind right now. Just thinking about the brunch. So to all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much to my moms. Got 2 of them. And then my wife, Val. Awesome job by you guys being fantastic mothers and mothers-in-law and so on and so forth. This has been the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz. Good day and good drinking, everyone.